Good evening, hockey fans. For tonight's NHL matchup, your Utah Hockey Club continues their short road trip, ends up in Pittsburgh to play the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. First of the I hope both teams have fun games for me this season. Starting lineups, Utah, Keller, Hayton, Schmaltz on that first line, McBain, Cooley, Gunther on the second, Maselli, Bukestad, Krause on the third, Kerfoot, Stenlin, Carcone rounding out the forward crew. Sergachev and Mata on the first defensive pairing, Cole, Lamoureux on the second, Kessering, Bortuzzo on the third, Famelka in net. Looking at the Penguins, Raquel, Crosby, Rust, Bunting, Malkin, Beauvillier, Polvajari, O'Connor, Poulin, Nieto, Achari, Hayes rounding out the forward crew, Pickering, Letang on the top pairing, Pedersen and Carlson on the second, Graves, Grzelcyk on the third, and Nedeljkovic in net. Face-off one back into the Utah zone. Utah behind their own net with it. Moving out now. Sergachev, he'll get a pass up. Maselli trying to dig at it, held along the left side boards in the neutral zone. Back in the Utah zone, Model will hold it. He'll get the pass up to Maselli, not quite able to get that up to Sergachev. Penguins will come away with it. They'll dump it right side. Nobody there to pick it up, though. Mata trying to move into the Penguin zone on the right side. Offsides regardless, though. Play blown dead. There it is. Apps finally decided this game has started. 19:32 left in the first. Next game will be January 29th. Penguins will be in Utah that game. Hoping for a good one tonight. That Boston was a little boring overall. More of a goaltending matchup, so we'll see if either team can get their offense going. Both struggling recently. So we'll see if playing against lower teams will help both of them. Penguins circle their own zone with it, able to get that out into neutral ice. Utah pick at it left side. We'll get in for just a second. Crosby, he'll get it in he'll dump it in right side of the Utah zone. Lamoureux will pick it up right corner. He'll push it back for Cole, looking to clear right side. Raquel will keep it in instead. Push back into the right corner. Crosby trying to get something in front, pushes that back into the corner instead. Play blown, and there will be a penalty called early. Lamoureux going to the box, so Penguins on the power play. This Pittsburgh power play, not what it was last year, so actually going to be a little more threatening. We'll see what that penalty comes back as. 19 left in the first now. Penguins with the early power play. Still not saying what it is. We'll see on the replay here. If I had to guess, looks like a holding call. Pittsburgh wins the faceoff, digging at it in front of the net, not able to put anything in instead. Utah pushed that right corner, looking to clear. Penguins will keep it in instead. Carlson walks the line to the left side. He'll get it deep. Pass missed instead. It'll roll all the way back into the Penguin zone. A slashing call on that penalty, not holding. Carlson, he'll leave that back to the into the Penguin zone. Raquel will get it over to Rust on the right side. Back to Carlson at the point. Looking for a shot over to Crosby. Big shot saved in front by Nedeljkovic. Push right corner. Crosby will get it back behind the net. Back to Carlson at the point. Shot tips up over the net. Cooley on the left side able to clear that out. 1:05 left in the Utah power play. Crosby, he'll leave that back for Malkin. Back to Carlson at the point. He'll pass it over to the left side. Over to Crosby on the right dot. Looks for something in front. Nothing there. Saved by Nedeljkovic. 53 seconds left on the Penguins power play. Penguins up 3-0 in shots now. 17:53 left in the first. This Penguins power play definitely way better than it was last year. So good to see them getting something moving here. Good passing around and getting those shots in front. Not really letting any rebounds bounce in front. Just kind of staying in front, digging at it. See if they can keep that up. Right side faceoff, one into the right corner. Both digging behind the net at it. It'll bounce back to the left point. Held along the right side. Back to the right point now with it. Looking for a shot in front. Tips wide. Still on that right side. Pass back to the right point for Grizzlick. He'll get that over left side. Utah able to poke away just enough at it. Goes all the way back to the Penguin zone. Grizzlick, he'll leave that back in the Penguin zone. Moving up with it now. Able to wrap that around. O'Connor will get to it. Push to the left side for Nieto. Shot in front, goes wide. Or not for Hayes. Utah back up the other way, killing off that penalty. Mata along the left side with it. Back to Sergachev at the left point. Keller with it at the right point. Back to Sergachev. Moving and looking for a shot. He'll take it. Bounces up over the net instead. Nieto able to pick that up in the right corner. Pressured though. Push just enough to Gunther in left corner. Looking for Keller in front. Shot goes wide. Nedeljkovic scrambling for just a second, but gets just enough on it to save that. 16:34 now left in the first. As I took away the wrong one. There it is. Penguins able to get some good pressure on that power play early, not able to get anything going. Good opportunities though, good really digging at that, digging at the offense there, not letting anything get up. See if they can keep that up throughout this game. Left side dot in the Penguin zone. Tied up at the dot. Penguins will win it back. Looking to clear, and they will. It'll bounce up neutral ice. Kessling will be able to get to it first. Trying to get a pass right side. It'll bounce into the Penguin zone. They'll pick it up instead. Tipped up into the Penguin zone deep, all alone, moving in front. Saved by Vejmelka. Nieto chasing for it, able to get to it first. Here's Carlson. Big shot from the right point. Bounces in front, deflected. Schmaltz moving back up the other way with it. Little pass up to Keller. Keller able to ring that around left side. Tied up in the left corner. Penguins able to dig that away. They'll clear it out on the second attempt. Malkin with the good strip on Cole there. He'll move in left side. He'll leave that back. Shot saved in front by Vejmelka. 15:44, I believe, left in the first as the feed on the Utah end does not want to update. So looking at the app, 15:44 left in the first. Shot sitting 6-0 for Penguins. Good pressure there. Malkin on that last attempt strips that away from Cole in neutral ice. Able to get in. Has enough with him. Just Vejmelka keeping Utah in it like usual. Left side dot in the Utah zone. Beauvillier will win that back. Big shot from Grizzly right into the glove of Vejmelka. He'll hold for the save. So far, that Utah offense not really doing anything. They've been able to get into the Penguin zone a few times. Not really been able to get set up though. Penguins defense not something you would think so far this season able to hold them back, but they have so far. Right side, Penguins win, or Utah win that draw, able to get into the Penguin zone. Push deep in the right corner. Move all the way to the left corner. Both teams still digging away at it. Bukestad, he'll leave that back, tries to leave it back for Cole. Nobody there to pick it up, though. Penguins on the rush, moving up the other way quickly. Shot from the left side, bounces off the shoulder of Vejmelka. Herconi, a pass up to Maselli. He'll dump that right corner. Pedersen will get to it first. Over to Letang behind his own net. Moving up with it. He'll get a pass up to Bunting. Bunting up to Crosby right over the dot. He'll get that right in front. Letang moving in. Shot saved by Vejmelka. That'll go wide. Will bounce into the neutral ice. Penguins able to pick it up first. Back in their own zone. They'll tip it up right side. Sergachev trying to race for it. Raquel will get it instead. Russ now at the left side. Big shot from the left point by Pickering. Save goes wide instead. Cooley racing up. Partially had a breakaway there. Poked away though. Tied up along the left side boards. McBain will get to it first. Grabbing it to Mata on the right side. He'll get deep with it. Tied up in the right corner. Push left corner. Gunther will get to it. No pressure there. He'll move back to the point. It'll be kept in. Cooley moving in, looking for something. Push back behind the Penguins' net. Mata at the point now with it. Over to Sergachev, the left dot. Back to Mata, all alone. Takes the shot. Saved by Nedeljkovic in front. Seeing as the marker on the Utah feed still broken, I believe about 14 left in the first, as the app is a little ahead. Utah with some good pressure there. Gets that passing around. Leaves Mata all alone as the Penguins all clump up around the net. That shot takes a bounce up over the net and into the netting. Penguins lucky there. Shot's now sitting 7-0 Penguins. Right side dot in the Penguin zone. Looking to clear it out. They will. Looking for a long pass up. Vmelka will get to it first. He'll push that left corner. Schmaltz trying to push that around the Utah net. Not quite able to. Tied up behind the net. They'll push that to right corner. They'll keep it in. Back around behind the net now. O'Connor with it. Pressured instead, though. Utah not able to poke it out. O'Connor trying to get to the front. Not quite able to. Schmaltz looking to put that in right corner. Digging away at it now. Keller. He'll get that back to Cole at the left dot. He'll push that all the way around. Wrap that to the right side. Schmaltz now at the right point with it. Back to Cole on the left side. Running back to Keller behind the net. Hayden will push that left side. Cole will be there to grab it around the left dot. Just a lot of back and forth between the two sides there. Penguins keeping him to the outside, not letting him get in front for any shots. Puck will bounce in front. Penguins will get to it first. Quick little dump in by Fulvijari to get the change. Utah will also hold and get the change. Lamoureux will hold in his own zone. Utah moving up with it now. Kerfoot moving in. As the time clock finally fixed. Little shot in front. Nedeljkovic doesn't know where that ends up for a second. Kerfoot able to pick it up in the right circle. Moving back with it. Kept in barely by Model. Bounce out. Penguins with it. Nieto trying to move in. Not quite able to. Bounced into the Utah zone. They'll get to it first. 12:35 left in the second now. Or in the first. Second, not even close. Mata moving in. Over to Stenlin on the left side. Shot. Bounces wide and up into the netting. 12:26 as the Utah broadcast finally decides they want to fix their time clock. Good offensive pressure from both teams. Penguins with good pressure. Utah trying that defense, keeping them to the outside, but good chances when they've had them. You're listening to Utah Pittsburgh on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. $12:26 left in the first. Still tied at nothing, but Penguins definitely plenty of opportunities. Not only has the offense for Pittsburgh been really good tonight, the defense, especially on that last Utah rush, a lot of just pushing it between both ends. Left side boards, wrap it around to the right side. Pittsburgh keeping them to that outside, not letting Utah get set up in front. If they're going to want to kind of bounce back, turn their season around, they need to keep that defense up. Utah, on the other hand, needs to find a way to break through that defense. Pittsburgh has struggled, so it's not going to be too difficult to find those weaknesses. Utah similarly has done, struggled as well, so we'll see if either team can break it first. Left side dot win. Achari and Bukestad on that, pushed left side. Utah looking to keep it in, it'll bounce out instead. Right outside of the Pittsburgh zone, they'll get it. Moving up with it now. Beauvillier dumps that right side, but Vmelka will get to it first behind his own net. He'll push that left corner. Takes a weird bounce in front. Malkin able to keep it with it. Tries to poke that back to the left point, not quite able to. He'll get left corner instead. Malcolm will pick it up along the left side boards. Back around, intercepted by Cole around the boards, though. Looking to clear that left side. They will. Bukestad with it. Long pass up to Maselli. He'll pick it up. He'll slow and dump that in to the Penguin zone. Kraus racing for it. 2-on-1, though. Can't quite hold it. He'll push it up against the boards instead. Cooley there now with him. Tied up, looking for something in front. Bunting will be able to pass that over, and Penguins will clear that all the way back down the Utah zone. Just barely not an icing. 11:25 left in the first now. Shots sitting 6-2 Pittsburgh. Utah looking for a long pass up into the Penguin zone. Penguins will get to it first, though, looking to clear right side. They won't. Sergachev will keep it in. Back over to the right point. Just circling that right side with it. Utah now behind the Penguins net, looking for something in front. Tipped in, they'll score. McBain will put that in for Utah. Fakes that he's going behind the net. He'll pass it in front instead. Gunther with the pass there. Fakes he's moving left around the net. Gets that over to McBain for a quick little tap in. Nedeljkovic not able to get to it in time. Utah will be taking a 1-0 lead. About 11 left in the first now. Yeah, Gunther just moving from that right dot, gets a beautiful pass in front to McBain, who barely puts that under the pad of Nedeljkovic. Doesn't even get that elevated at all, just Nedeljkovic not flat with the ice surface there. Little soft pass gets that right past him. Utah up 1. Face-off 1 back into the Utah zone, push that on net. Carlson will keep it in at the point. Tries to get it to O'Connor, will push the right corner instead, though. Hayton trying to get that out left side. Penguins will keep it in. Left corner with it, trying to get something in front. Carlson misses the pass and will bounce all the way back to the Penguin zone. Nedeljkovic will hold it. Keller racing for it. He'll steal it away. Not able to get the pass in front. Lamoureux moving in. Good defense from the Penguins. Not able to get that pass off. Keller behind the Penguins net looking for 2. Tied up in the right corner. Hayton trying to get to it. Penguins will grab it instead. Will clear that out of their zone. 10:20 left in the first now. Utah will get that neutralized. Cole now with it right over the line. Over to Keller. Big shot in front by Schmaltz. Saved by Nedeljkovic. 10:12 left in the first now. Shots sitting 6-4 for the Penguins. On that last Utah goal, McBain, that is his 6th of the season. Gunther and Cooley with the assists. They're 8th and 10th, respectively. Penguins offense not able to do just enough after, started out strong, but over these last few minutes kind of fallen off as Utah's been able to establish more and more pressure in that offensive zone, especially on that last play there, just keeping it in, doing good pressure there. Right side draw for Crosby and McBain. Crosby, of course, will win that back easily. Raquel in the Penguin zone, able to jump that around. Vejmelka will push that right corner for Kesselring. He'll try and get to Bortuzzo on the left side. Not quite able to. McBain will grab it instead. Pressured. Russ there with it. He'll get it to Crosby behind. Big pass in front to Letang. Bounces just wide. Kept in. Back to Letang. Walking the line now with it. He'll get left side. Tries to get a pass up to Pickering. He'll push that around for Raquel. Raquel in the right corner. Back to Rust. Rust pushing that left side to Letang. He'll get that back to the point. Big shot in front. Deflects in front. Crosby with a diving shot at it. Saved by Vejmelka, though. 9:29 now left in the first. Utah jumps early, taking the 1-0 lead off that beautiful pass from Gunther behind the net. Shots currently sitting 8-4 for Pittsburgh. We'll see if they can answer back or if Utah can continue this offense they've been having over these last few minutes. Listen to Utah Pittsburgh on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. Back after the short commercial break. 9:29 left in the first. Utah with the early 1-0 lead. And I realized Utah doing exactly what I said they should be doing on that last drive there. Pittsburgh keeping them to the outside. So what do? Keep moving it around the outside, and then they get that pass in front when Pittsburgh's not expecting it. They're keeping Pittsburgh thinking they can keep them to the outside, get that short little pass in front when everybody's already moved to the left side. Keep them thinking that that defense is working, but know how to break it. Beautiful play on that last goal, as I realized during that break here. Right side draw in the Utah zone. Utah win that back, pushed in the right corner, looking to clear, and they will. Takes a little bounce, not quite able to get in the zone. Kerfoot will grab it, moving into the zone right side. Holding, he'll get it back to Mata at the point. Big shot. Bounces wide, Nedeljkovic saving that. Carcone able to get that over to Sergachev. Back over to Mata at the right point. Nice pass through everybody right to Carcone, not able to do anything there. Carlson will grab it instead, push deep into the left corner of the Penguin zone. They'll get that right corner. Malkin looking to clear. He'll push that back to Carlson behind the Penguins net. Short pass up, and Penguins will finally clear that out. Bounces right at neutral ice. Malkin looking to push that in. He will, but Utah will grab it right back instead. Sergachev. Pass up to Kerfoot. Back in the Utah zone. They'll wait and get the change. 8:40 left in the first. Shot setting 7-5 Pittsburgh favor. Utah trying to get that into the Penguin zone, not quite able to. Penguins looking for another rush here. They'll ring that around right side. Vejmelka not able to slow. It'll bounce left corner. Push back into the right corner. Cole will get to it first. No pressure. He'll get that back over to the left side. Right back to him. Looking to clear. He will. Almost takes a bounce back into the Utah zone. Not quite able to. Krause moving in. Missed pass to Bukestad in front. Maselli trying to keep that in right to the Penguins instead. Moving back into the Utah zone, looking for a pass in front. Pressured by Utah, though, not quite able to. Chari shot on net, saved by Nedeljkovic. Not Nedeljkovic, had it, lost it. Vejmelka with the save there. Utah moving back up the other way quickly. Bukestad, short little pass up to Kesselring, gets the shot on net. Nedeljkovic with the save. Chari holding it behind the Penguins' net as they wait for the change. He'll leave that so he can change as well. Letang, pass up to Raquel. Tries to get a pass up to Crosby, deflects into the left corner instead. Russ will get to it first, gets that to Crosby, leaves it in front. Russ trying to move around the net with it, not quite able to. Schmaltz moving back up the other way quickly, tries to get it to Hayton in front. It'll bounce to the left side of the Penguins' net. Nedeljkovic trying to push that right corner. Utah will get to it first. Crosby able to clear that up to Rust. Schmaltz trying to take that away at neutral ice instead, not quite able to. Rust will hold on, pass up to Crosby. Tries to get that to Polvajari. Doesn't quite get able to. 7 minutes left in the first now. Utah able to steal that back away. Moving up the other way quickly. Keller at the left side. He'll leave that back to Sergachev. Right in the slot. He'll score. Keller with that beautiful pass to Sergachev right in the slot. Has all the time in the world he can think of. And he'll put that in. Utah taking a 2-0 lead. Part of me not as shocked that Utah's playing good against the Penguins. They have been struggling this season. Yeah, just nice entrance. Keller holds at the right side. Sergachev just circles right into the slot. Waits, has the perfect shot. Puts that right top corner, bar down. Beautiful shot there. Sergachev, his 5th of the season. Keller and Schmaltz with the assists. Their 11th and 14th, respectively. Utah with the 2-0 lead. 6:50 left in the first now. Penguins will win the face-off draw in the middle. Push back behind the Penguins net, or behind the Utah net. Penguins, big shot, deflects in front. Kept in. Carlson looking for something there, deflects in front. Polvajari digging at it, not quite able to get anything there. He'll push it right corner instead. Tied up in the right corner, trying to get it in front, not quite able to. McBain will come away with it instead. Circling the neutral zone, he'll get a pass up to Gunther, not able to hold it though. He'll chip it for no icing. Carlson looking to clear right side, will bounce staying in. Big shot to Gunther in the front, nothing there. McBain trying to get something from an angle. Cooley now behind the Pittsburgh net with it. Holds it, gets it back to Kesselring at the point. Looking for a shot, deflects right corner. Patterson trying to dig at it as they try to clear right side. They finally will on the next attempt. Both teams go for a change. Kesselring moving in quickly to take advantage of that. He'll walk the blue line. He'll dump it left side for Stenlund looking for something in net. but Nedeljkovic with the save. 5:48 left in the first. Utah with a commanding 2-0 lead so far. Shots sitting 10-7 in favor of Pittsburgh, but Utah with the ones that matter. Listening to Utah Pittsburgh on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. .548 left in the first now. Utah up 2-0 off that beautiful shot right from the slot from Sergachev there. Utah, this offense seeming to have figured it out after these last few games where they seem to have slumped a little, just not able to get anything set up. And whether that be the Utah offense or the defense they've been playing, regardless, they seem to have figured it out tonight against the struggling Penguins team, which if you're Utah, doesn't matter. As long as you're getting pucks in the net, it's all that matters to you. This might be the spark that, if they can get something going here, maybe continue that through the road trip, see what happens. Penguins try and dump that into the Utah zone. Vejmelka will get to it first. Utah back up the other way. Kerfoot trying to get a pass over to Stenlund. Shot from Carcone right on net. Nedeljkovic with the save. 5.5 left in the first now. Shots sitting 10-8 for Pittsburgh. Utah with the two that matter, though. Why does it say low internet? Please fix yourself. There it is. Now it's fixed. That was odd. Regardless, 5.5 left in the first. See if Penguins can get something going. Right side draw in the Penguin zone. They'll win that back. Letang looking to clear that out right side. Charlie looking to get to it first. Hayes will instead. Dumped in along the left side. Vejmelka trying to get to it. Goes just a little wide. He'll be forced back in the net. Doesn't matter. Sergachev will get to it first. Penguins will keep that in left side. Not able to get in front immediately. Maselli will take it away. Moving up, he'll get in right side of the Penguin zone. He'll slow, trying to get to the front. Achari will prevent that. Gets right in his way. Penguins moving up through neutral ice. They'll dump it left side. Kessering will get to it first. He'll hold. Now both digging at the left side. Penguins will keep it in. Trying to get that back to left point. Raquel is not quite able to. Pass in front of Bukestad. He'll get that out finally. Schmaltz barely gets it over the line, barely, but not able to do anything with it. Carlson moving in quickly along the right side. Force stumping around the net. Crosby not quite able to get to it. Rust will get it in the left corner instead. Crosby looking to get a pass right to him. It'll bounce in front. Nobody there to pick it up instead. Keller. Cross over to Cole. Hitting with it. Trying to get that back over to Keller. Just barely that pass tipped. Force dump that around the net. It'll bounce left corner. Crosby looking to clear it out. Won't. Penguins will on the second attempt, though. Bounces back into the Utah zone. Cole get to it first. He'll stop behind his own net, circling for just a second. 4 minutes left in the first now. Tipped up. Gunther with it, moving in quickly. Tries to get a pass across. Not quite able to. Tied up along the left side boards. Lamoureux looking to dump it around for McBain. Penguins will get to it first. Grzelcyk looking to clear right side. Or left side. He will. Pass over. Penguins moving in. Shot in front. Bounces behind the net. O'Connor trying to dig away at it. Not quite able to. Poulin the one with that last shot attempt there. McBain, he'll leave it back for Cooley. Cooley moving in with Seed. Cuts through the three defensemen there, not able to get anything going. O'Connor, he'll get that pass in front. Tries to get to Polvajari. Utah tip that right back away. Gunther, shot in front, tips wide. Bounces into the right corner. Penguins able to hold just enough of it. Looking to clear right side. They will. Held up in neutral ice, though. Gunther moving back in left side. Trying to get in front. Looks to split the defense. Not quite able to. Will push that right corner instead. Stenlin ties up. Here's Carcone with it. He'll pass it back to the point. Shot. Bounces in front. Stenlin trying to get that back over to McBain. Not quite able to. Kerfoot. He'll be the one to get it to McBain. Will bounce back in front, though. Penguins will hold it. Moving up out of their own zone finally. 2:50 left in the first. He'll dump it left corner. Bolt still racing for it, though. Beauvillier tied along the left side. Tries to get it around for Malkin. Utah will steal that away, though. Tipped up. Carcone now. Trying to get into the zone. Not quite able to. Penguins able to get in the way of that entry there. Malkin forced to dump that right corner, but Truzzo will get to it first. Kessler will come away with it. Over to Bukestad, trying to move up the left side. He'll dump it deep into the Penguin zone. Delkovich will leave it behind his own net as they try to clear right side. Bounces in front. Nieto just barely able to get to it. Moving up with speed along the left side. Forced to slow. Dancing the line. He'll leave that. Tries to look for something in front. Saved by Nedeljkovic, though. It's Pedersen the one trying to get that shot from the point. 2:05 left in the first now. Shots in 10-8 for Pittsburgh. Utah up too early. It seems like after these first few minutes of the Penguins offense really getting something going there, just Utah either figured out the defense or that offense has been, figured something out, got something going. Because it's been mostly all Utah these last few minutes here. Keeping it in the zone, getting shots, just keeping it in the Penguin zone, forcing them tire themselves out and forcing them to just dump it in, change, dump it in, change. Can't get set up, can't get goals if you just do that. Right side face-off in the Utah zone. They'll win it, moving up quickly now. Lamoureux held along the left side boards. Pushes that left corner. Keller, he'll get that over to Cole along the right point. Force just get a light shot in front. Utah push that right corner of the Penguin zone. Hayton fighting away for it. Schmaltz tries to get a pass in front to Keller. He'll get that back to the right point just instead. Keller now with a shot. Bounces in and he'll score. Sorry, Schmaltz with it, not Keller. 8 and 9, similar numbers. Regardless, gets that pass right in front. Puts that right past Nedeljkovic. Utah up 3 now. Get this fixed for you. There we go. Utah, 3 goals on 9 shots. You have to wonder if Nedeljkovic will be starting the second. Yeah, Keller pushes that to the right dot on that last attempt. Keller then with it right in front to Schmaltz. Barely tucks that left side. They could maybe argue that's goaltender interference. We'll see if they do. Hayton's a little bit in front. They will take a look at it. We'll see what they end up deciding here. They will take a look at this to see if it is goaltender interference. Definitely a possibility, as Hayton with that net front presence in front. We'll see if they decide, if they'll cut away from the bench and show another replay. Here we go. Hayton in front, outside the paint, dancing with it. At the left side, he'll get in front. We'll see what they decide. He does kind of push Nedeljkovic's glove out of the way with his stick. I have a feeling, they've made their choice here. I have a feeling this is coming back. We'll have to see what they decide here. If so, major blow to Schmaltz. No goal on the play. Was determined that it is goaltender interference. Schmaltz just forever proving he's not allowed to score again. You got to feel a little sad at this point for him. was determined was goaltender interference, likely from Hayton moving in front, pushing the glove of Nedeljkovic out of the way. Just enough to call that interference. Utah will only be up by 2 now. Minute 33 left in the first. Regardless of if they're up by 3 or 2, just Utah, the offense here, really driving these last several minutes. We'll see if they can keep something going. 1:25 left in the first now. Carlson trying to get a pass up to Malkin, not quite able to. Held up behind his own net, or behind the Penguins. Hits Utah net. Jesus Christ. Back to Carlson at the right point. Tries to get it in front to Malkin. He'll grab it at the right side. Big shot from Carlson. Bounces wide. Just at the red line of the red goal line. Carlson back at the right dot or right point with it. Wrapped around. Nobody in the right corner to pick it up. Less than a minute now. Mata trying to clear it out. Left side, not quite able to. Tied up by Bunting. Pittsburgh will keep it in. Just for a second, though. Utah will take that away. Cooley moving in left side of the Utah zone. Push left corner, or push left boards instead. Right behind the net. Nedeljkovic just slows that enough for Penguins to get to it first. Bunting, a little pass back into the Penguin zone. Carlson now with it, looking to move up. Get over the red line, moving into the Utah zone. Held up along the right side boards. He'll push that right corner, trying to get that to rust. Both teams digging at it now. 19 seconds as play blown dead. Either for an offsides or something happened there. Honestly, not quite sure. No penalty on the play, though, so likely just an offsides or held up long for too long. Bounce up in the netting regardless. 19.4 left. Shots still sitting 10-8 in favor of Pittsburgh. See if we can just end these 19 seconds quickly. Might have been a hit on Carlson. He's on the bench now, looking a little worse for wear. Yeah, that's all it was. No offsides or anything like that. Just that hit from Carlson. He goes down. He's a little injured off that play. Skated to the bench on his own, though. We'll see. He should be all right. Right side dot outside the Utah zone. Pittsburgh will push it into the Utah zone. Cole grab it instead. 15 seconds now. Hold it behind his own net. Looks for the pass up to Hayton. He'll get it. 9 seconds. Schmaltz. Left side trying to get a pass over to Keller. Shot in front. Both teams digging at it. Another attempt saved by Nedeljkovic. And that will be the end of the first. End of the first. Shots tied at 10. But Utah, the ones up 2-0. See if the Pittsburgh offense can get something going here in the second, or if the Utah offense here can keep what they've been doing, get something going here. You know, maybe Schmaltz will finally get that third goal. You're listening to Utah Pittsburgh on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back in 15. Welcome back. So we get ready to start the second period. Utah up 2-0. First period stats for you. Shots ending 11-10 in favor of Utah. Faceoffs fairly even, 10-8 in favor of Pittsburgh. Hits 17-11 in favor of Pittsburgh. Block shots tied at 5. And Pittsburgh with the only power play so far, 0 for 1 on that. Been a fairly disciplined game between both. We'll see if the Penguins offense can really get anything going. It seemed like throughout, they came out the gate swinging, and then they just kind of seemed to stall out throughout the next little bit there. Obviously, the Crosby line able to get stuff going, even the Malkin line to some extent, but really not able to get much going in terms of offense. They had the start at the beginning and just nothing. Utah, on the other hand, complete opposite story. Started out slow and then figured it out, put one in, kept the momentum going, got a second. Would have had three if not for the goaltender interference call, but kept the momentum going, keeping it in the Penguin zone as much as possible. Force them, like they have been, like has been done to them, force them to get in a situation where you've tired them out in their own zone. Now, once you've cleared it, you have to dump it into the other zone real quick so you can change. In the meantime, other teams are already back the other way. It's a situation that if you're the Penguins, you want to stop before we start the second, or stop it as soon as you can. Whereas Utah doesn't care; they're keeping up that pressure. They want to keep that style as much as possible. See if they can. Opening draw will be Bukestad and Malkin. Malkin win that back to Pickering. Over to Letang. He'll try and tip that up. It'll bounce into the boards instead. 1955. Now left in the second. Yeah, Utah, if they're going to prove that this first period was not a fluke, they're going to need to keep that pressure up like they did at the end of the first and most of the first. We'll see if they can do that. Center ice draw again. Bukestad Malkin again. Malkin will jump on the draw. It'll be Villiers and Bukestad now. Bukestad will win that back to Pickering. He'll pick it up in the Penguin zone. Back over to Letang. Trying to get the long pass up. It'll be tipped up to Bukestad. Tripped up over the play. No penalty there. Motto will try and come away with it. Trying to clear it left side. He'll dump it back around the Utah net for Sergachev. Trying to chip that out. He will. It'll bounce into the Penguin zone. Big rush there by Hayton, it looked like. Able to get that shot on net, but nothing there. Or nothing else with it. Malcolm with pass up to Bukestad will get back into the Penguin zone. Sergachev will grab behind the Utah net. Here's Hayton moving out with it now. Over to Schmaltz. Looking to get one after that one was called back. Shot bounces wide. It'll bounce behind the Penguins net. Carlson there to pick it up. Pass up over to Bunting. Almost has that taken away. Pittsburgh catches an edge though. Utah picked that up in the neutral zone. They'll pass that over left side. Schmaltz now with it, looking in front. Shot saved by Nedeljkovic. It'll bounce out to the dot, though. Penguins back up the other way. It's Raquel. He'll slow at their own blue line. Pass up to Crosby. Trying to get that pass up to Pettersson. He'll get it. No shot on net, though. Will be a penalty called. Looks like Schmaltz will be going to the box. Penguins, similar to that first, will be taking an early power play. See if the app will update. A slashing. Oh, 2 penalties. It will be 2. App's not crazy. 2 penalties on Utah. It'll be a 5-on-3 for Pittsburgh. Both Lamoureux and Schmaltz to the box for a slashing. See on the replay here when that really occurred, if they're showing the one I think they are. Oh, yeah. Schmaltz's definitely. From the ground, he just swings at Crosby. And they didn't really show the Lamoureux one, but regardless, Pittsburgh, a big opportunity here. 5-on-3. We'll see if they can do it. Left side draw, they'll win it. Trying to get the pass over to Raquel, not quite. Crosby will grab it in the right corner of the Utah zone. Back over to Raquel on the left side. Left side holding. Back to Carlson at the point. Back to Raquel looking for something in front for Russ. Nothing there. Malkin will pick it up. Right side. Circling to the slot. Back over to Raquel on the right side. Back to Malkin. Back over to Crosby quickly at the right dot. Malkin at the left dot. Gets to Raquel deep. Over to Crosby. Not able to get that shot off, though. Back to Raquel. Malkin now with it at the center slot. Over to Crosby again. Shot saved. Bounce back to that right corner. Malkin there to pick it up. Sergachev looking to clear, and he will, all the way back down to the Penguin zone. Bounces into the right corner, and Nedeljkovic not quite able to grab that fast enough. 105 on the two-man advantage now. Carlson moving up. Pass over to Raquel. He'll dump it around for Crosby at the left dot. Forced push in the left corner. Back to Raquel. Held up in the left corner with it. Back to Carlson. Malkin now with it, looking for something in front. Raquel not quite able to get enough on that shot to get it across fast enough. Not Utah power play. I want that one. Whoops. Carlson at the dot with a big shot from Malkin. Saved in front by Nedeljkovic. It'll bounce back to him. Tries to get a pass over to Raquel. Blocked in front by Utah. Raquel will grab it anyway. 30 seconds left on the two-man advantage. Rust with it. Back to Carlson. Back to Rust. Looking for a little tap in. Crosby. Nothing there, though. Kept in just barely. 20 seconds now. Raquel over to Malkin. Shot. Bounces wide. Tied up behind the net. Both fighting for it. Right to Carlson. Right in front. Tries to get a pass over, and they'll score. Crosby with it. Carlson able to move up into the slot as everybody's pushed deep. And that will be goal 600 for Crosby. So at least if you're going to give up a goal to Pittsburgh, at least let it be that one. The Penguins bench clears to celebrate him in that. Number 600 for Crosby. Scored number 500 February 15th, 22. So about a year and some change later, he'll get number 600. Congrats to him on that. In regards to the goal itself, just everybody's deep because that puck stays kind of back behind the net. Pittsburgh able to dump that up into neutral ice, or not neutral ice, able to dump that into the front of the zone. Carlson all alone, right at the point, everybody deep, able to pass that over to Crosby. Vejmelka, all on that left side. No help, can't get across at it. Crosby with the easy tap in for 600. What an incredible feat by him. Yeah, Carlson, just the quick little tap over to him. Nedeljkovic had no chance. Or not Nedeljkovic, Vejmelka, no chance of getting across there. 16:49 now left. 5 seconds left on the power play, but that should be cleared off by Utah. And it will be. Penguins moving back up. Ooh, as the broadcast decides it's going to fix itself. That's all that matters. 16:30 now. Letang looking for a quick pass up to Achari. Not quite able to. Cooley will steal it. In the right side of the Penguin zone. Dances the line. Tries to get it up to McBain. He'll push it to Gunther instead. Looking for another one in front. McBain forcing the right corner instead. Back to Gunther. Get it back to Kesselring now. Quick pass up by Cooley. Nobody there to grab it instead. Penguins trying to clear right side. Kesselring digging at it. He'll push it back behind the Penguins net. Achari looking to clear left side. On the second attempt, they finally will. Back down to the Utah zone. Kesselring will grab it behind their own net. Trying to bounce it up into the Penguin zone. Not quite able to. Penguins will hold in their own zone. Looking for a quick pass up. Not able to hold the pass, though. It'll bounce right back out into the neutral zone. They'll dump it in again. Back behind the Utah net, both fighting for it. They'll push it left side. Penguins trying to keep it in. They barely will. Bolvajari fighting for it. Will bounce over to Graves. Shot from the right point. Bounces in front. Saved by Vejmelka. 15:24 now left in the second. Shot sitting 13-12. But Penguins now back within one. Crosby getting number 600 tonight. As he gets a standing ovation from the crowd now during the break here. So Penguins now hopefully, taking advantage of that taking advantage of the two-man advantage there to get that one in. Maybe they'll see if they can get the keep that offensive pressure up, get something going now. They're back within one. Not that it was impossible within two, but if you're, now you only need one, you can play a little more offensively. We'll see what they can do. Right side draw, we bounced out into the neutral zone. Penguins moving up quickly back in their own zone. O'Connor pressured, though. Dump back in the Utah zone. Behind the net, no team grabbing at it. So Melka leaves it for, assume Utah there. And there goes the feed. And we're cut to, what the hell? What the, all right, well, play blown dead. 14:53 left in the second. I guess we're at commercial now? I guess? What the hell? I guess we'll be back when the commercials are done? All right, I'll be completely honest. I have no clue what's happening with the broadcast now. It seems to just be stuck in commercial. Because play is definitely continued. Oh, we're back now? I guess we're back now. All right, I guess we're back. What the hell is happening? All right, Utah behind the Penguins net looking for a wraparound, not able to find anything there. Carcone at the right corner gets that to Stenlin behind the Penguins net, kept in at the left point by Kessler. It'll bounce behind the Penguins net. Looking to clear it right side. Trying to. They will on the second attempt. Achari, he'll get the pass. Trying to get the pass up to Achari. Won't on the attempt, though. Kessering moving up ice quickly. He'll get into the Penguin zone. He'll leave it back. Shot. Bounces wide. Kessering will grab behind the Penguins net. Kerfoot there. Tied along the right side boards, though. Still fighting for it in the right corner. Penguins will come away with it. O'Connor digging away at it. Looking to clear, and they will. All the way back down. Clears it too well, though, for the icing. As I guess the broadcast fixed itself. 11:42 left in the second now. Shot sitting 16-14 for the Pens. Yeah, I have no clue what happened there. Whatever, at least it fixed itself. O'Connor, Bukestad, left side draw in the Penguin zone. Penguins will win it back. Letang looking to clear it out left side. Utah barely keeps it in, but bounces over to the right side. Nobody there to pick it up initially. Keller now looking for a pass in front, not able to get it. Letang looking to clear it. Tied up along the right side. Mata with it. Just for a sec, he'll wrap it back around. Keller behind the Penguins net with it. Looking for a pass in front. Get it back over to Sergachev. Back to Keller at the right dot. Back to the point for Mata. Delayed penalty on Pittsburgh. Looking for a pass in front. Pittsburgh will touch it. Utah on the power play now. A tripping called. As I guess now we're going to TV timeout. For real this time. You're listening to Utah Pittsburgh on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio for as long as it wants to let me. Please, Lord, let this be fixed. We'll be back after the commercial. .11:08 left in the second. Utah on the power play. Polvajari taking a 2-minute tripping against Mata. We'll see if they can take advantage of this, bring that lead back to 2. Now that the broadcast isn't freaking out, that Crosby goal scored at 3:11 of the second. Crosby is 8th of the season and 600th overall. Assisted by Carlson, his 10th of the season. See if the Utah power play here can get something going. Right side dot in the Penguin zone. Utah won it back. Sergachev, quick pass up to Keller. Keller at the right side now with it. Back behind the net. Back to Sergachev at the point. Keller, quick pass over to Schmaltz. Back to Keller. Back to Sergachev at the slot. Takes a shot, goes wide. Bounces up. Nedeljkovic with the catch right out of midair. Very impressive there. 10:49 now left in the second. 1:41 left in the Utah power play. Yeah, broadcast just play was in the zone, and then it cut to black, and then it cut to commercial, and then it looped commercial, and then it fixed itself. So, no clue there. Right side dot again. Utah won it back. Sergachev. Big pass over to Gunther. Shot bounces up into the netting. Just beautiful pass over on that beautiful pass from Sergachev right at the slot. Gets that right over to an open Gunther on the left side. Tries to put one in to bring this back to a 2-0 or to a 2-goal lead for Utah. Not quite able to. 136 left side draw now. Schmaltz will win that back to Sergachev. He'll walk the line. Back over to Gunther at the left point. Back to Schmaltz. Back to Sergachev walking the line. Sergachev with it again. Just passing back. Keller, big shot. Bounces up. Stays in play, though. Bounce up into the zone just too far. Back to the Utah zone. 1:10 left in the Utah power play. 10:15 left in the second now. Sergachev, bad pass. Nieto tries to steal it away, not quite able to. Be held up along the left side boards of Utah zone, trying to move away with it. They will on the next attempt. Keller with it, moving through center ice. Nice little pass right back up to him. Shot goes wide. Saved by Nedeljkovic. Schmaltz will pick it up. Trying to wrap that around. Letang will get to it first. He'll hold in the left corner of the Penguin zone. Able to clear that all the way back down. 40 seconds left in the Utah power play. Back in their own zone. Pass up to Maselli. Moving in with speed along the right side. Pass in front to Bukestad. Poked away. Bounces out of the Penguin zone. Kessering forced back to their own blue line. Utah now moving back up with it. Left side. Pass all the way across for Carcone. Bounces wide. Saved by Nedeljkovic there. Back to him on the right side. Back at the point for Kessering. Bounces in front for a goal. Looked like that one was tipped down and in regardless. Utah will capitalize on this power play, and their 2-goal lead is back. Utah now up 3-1. Bukestad leading the Sully line there. Likely his. The app crediting that to Kessering. We'll have to see on the replay here if that was tipped or not. Yeah, just good entry by Maselli on that on the rush there. Able to get in the zone. Great cross-ice passing. Just gets it through everybody on that goal there. Big attempt by Carcone there. Gets the shot. He'll bounce to the left side. Right back to him. He'll get the pass in front. Doesn't actually look like that tipped. That might be Kesselring's. Nope, it was tipped. That will be Bukestad's goal on the power play. So Utah, they 2-goal lead again, 3-1, 19:15 left in the second. Pittsburgh will push that into the Utah zone, held up behind the net. Shot from the right point, bounces in front. Nobody there to grab it, though. Utah trying to clear right side. They will. It'll bounce into neutral ice, though. Pittsburgh quickly moving back up. Malkin not able to grab that pass. Kerfoot pushes that in the right corner, bounces in front. Utah will get to it first. Tied up, though. Penguins will grab it right back in neutral ice. Grzelcyk back in the Penguin zone. Looking to get something going. He'll chip it into the right corner. Bounces around. Crosby will grab it. He'll pass that back to the right point for Carlson. Carlson circling that right point. Pass back to Crosby at the right dot. Looks for another one. Carlson racing in to get that shot. Doesn't get anything on it, though. Bounce in the left corner. Utah will grab it instead. Moving back up quickly with it now. Kerfoot. Push it in the right corner. Bounces off the boards, though. Penguins will grab it first. They'll push it along the right side boards. Malkin with it, looking to clear. Ooh, pass up to Crosby. And tipped up out of the Penguin zone. All the way back down. No icing, though. Bortuzzo, quick pass up. Left back to Bukestad. It'll bounce out of the Penguin zone, though. Bunting trying to move in quickly. It'll bounce behind the Utah net. Bounces off Bortuzzo in front. Maselli there to grab it, though. Quick pass up. Krause able to grab it. Or would have been a quick pass up, but it will be an offsides for Utah there. Just barely not able to keep that in. .40-ish left in the second now. Utah able to bring that 2-goal lead back. Up 3-1. Listening to Utah Pittsburgh on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. Back after the short commercial break. 7:41 left in the second. Utah up 3-1. That last Utah goal, Bukestad, his fourth of the season on the power play, assisted by Kessering and Carconi, their seventh and first assists respectively. Utah just continuing that offensive pressure they had at the end of the first, just getting stuff on net, especially taking advantage on that power play. Their great job staying in the zone for almost the entirety, not letting Pittsburgh change, not even letting them clear, just keeping it in right at the line when needed to. Great passing around, waiting for that shot, and they got it. Nice job on Bukestad, right in front where he needs to be, gets that tip right up over the shoulder of Nedeljkovic. Shot sitting 20-17 in favor of Pittsburgh, but Utah the one up 3-1. We'll see if this Pittsburgh offense can really get something going, because the only goal they've had so far tonight is on the 5-on-3, able to really just lucky bounce everybody pulled deep into the zone. Great shot regardless, but you can't always score on the 5-on-3. You need to be able to get that 5-on-5 pressure. And so far, after the first few minutes of the first, Pittsburgh not been doing much in that department, really. They've been able to get in every now and then, but haven't had a sustained offensive pressure for a good few minutes now. So we'll see if they can really get something going. Maybe with this goal by Utah, they'll push in, or even on this next rush here. Left side dot in the Utah zone. Stenlin, Crosby on the draw. If we could drop the puck, we'll get this continued. Eventually. Here we go. Pushed into the left corner. Penguins trying to get a tip in front, not quite able to. Utah grabbed back behind their own net. Looking for a quick pass up. It'll bounce all the way back down to the Penguins zone. Carlson will get to it first. He'll hold behind the Pittsburgh net. Quick little passes up. Looking to get Crosby along the right side. He'll tip it in and down around. Vejmelka will push that left corner. Mata try and get it up to Schmal to go just a little too far. Penguins will pick it up in neutral ice. It's Crosby with it. Try to get a pass in front to Rust. Will bounce back to the right point, push deep. Utah trying to dig at it. Held along the left side boards now, right by the blue line. Barely kept in by Carlson. Crosby trying to get it to Raquel in front. Kept in by Carlson at the right point. Looking for a shot in front. Bounces to the right corner. Tied up back behind the Utah net now. Utah coming away with it. Schmaltz moving quickly. He'll dump it right corner of the Penguin zone. 6:40 left in the second now. Here's Cooley behind the Pittsburgh net looking for a pass in front. Not able to grab anything there. McBain, right dot. He'll hold and waiting. Shot deflects. Nobody at the left point to pick it up, but there will be Gunther once he comes off the bench. Shot in front. Looking for a quick little backhand in front. Nothing there. Cooley looking to get one. Back behind the Penguins net. Cooley with it. He'll move to the left side. Cooley back with it. Loses the puck, though. There's the Penguins coming back up the other way. Malkin barely gets the pass over to Beauvillier, but can't control it for much longer. McBain tries to dump it in. Play blown dead, though. Offsides by Utah. And it seems that Pittsburgh offense really not able to get anything going. Oh, wow, that shot from Gunther earlier. He gets off the bench, puts that in. Likely would have been a high stick anyway, but Cooley gets it down from up in the air, gets that backhand in front there, saved by Nedeljkovic regardless. But as I was saying, the Pittsburgh offense really not able to get anything going. The Utah offense has just been holding them into their own zone for much of this period and has continued. Right side dot outside the Penguin zone, they'll win it back in their own zone. Passed up to Polvajari. We'll get it right side of the Utah zone. Trying to wrap it around left side. Krause digging away at it. Graves there with him. Don't break again, please. Pittsburgh back up the other way quickly. O'Connor shot saved by Vejmelka. That'll bounce up into the netting for the play blown dead. 5:46 now in the second. Shot sitting 21-18 in favor of Pittsburgh, but Utah with the two-goal lead again as they lead 3-1. We'll be back from commercial if the broadcast doesn't decide to break again, because it flashed for a minute. Now it's scaring me. We'll be back after the short commercial. 5:46 left in the second. Utah with a 3-1 lead. During the commercial there, I was taking a look at some of the other stats here. Hits are currently sitting 29-14 in favor of Pittsburgh, which while on paper sounds like a good thing, that just really goes to show how good that Utah offense has been doing of keeping Pittsburgh in their own zone. Because if they have 30 hits by now, they don't have the puck. And that's a problem if you're Pittsburgh. You're down 2, you don't have the puck, you're forced to be hitting. You can't get that offense going, nothing's working. So we'll see if they can really get something going. With 5:40 left in the second and a whole period to play. Utah pushes deep into the Penguin zone, wrapping around to the left point now. They'll dump it back around, trying to get it behind the net, not quite able to. Utah keep it in, though. They'll dump it right corner again. Grizzly racing for it. Letang will grab it in the left corner. Looking to tip it up out of the zone, they will. All the way back down to the Utah zone, though, for the icing. 5:19 now left in the second. But yeah, looking at the stats overall, it just really goes to show this Utah offense, whether it be they figured it out or the Penguins really struggling, as has been proven of their last few games, just not able to get anything going. Left side draw in the Penguin zone, Crosby and Hayton, I believe. Yes. Crosby will win that back, looking to clear it, and they will. Getting it into the Utah zone right side, will bounce right corner. Nobody else there to pick it up. Utah will instead. Keller moving out with speed. He'll get it over to Schmaltz right side. Force push that right corner. Both digging away at it behind the net now. Schmaltz can't quite get something in front. Penguins will steal it away. Quick pass up to Hayes. He'll dump that right corner of the Utah zone. Nieto racing for it. Tied up in the left corner now. Both teams digging at it with 4:40 left in the second. Push back the right side. Utah will get to it first. They'll bounce all the way back down. No icing on the play, though. Pittsburgh back in their own zone. They'll push it up quickly. Back in neutral ice. Utah will grab it. They'll dump it back behind the Pittsburgh net. Pittsburgh moving back up with it. Long pass up, tipped up for no icing. Utah will get to it first, though. Doesn't matter. Nieto moving behind the Utah net. He'll get that back to the right point for Grizzly. Grizzly looking for a tip in front. Nothing there. He'll bounce right side. Tied up along the right side corner. Utah will grab it. McBain will pass up to Gunther. Over to Cooley. Gunther will push that behind the Penguins net. Tied up in the right corner. McBain and Gunther digging away at it. Penguins looking to clear right side. Trying to. They barely will. Moving up with it now. Hayes, a quick little pass up to Bunting. Bunting can't quite get that shot off. Bounce right up on net. Vejmelka with the hold. As Bunting and Bortuzzo get to know each other after that one. A little scrum behind the net. 3:39 left in the second now. Shot sitting 22-18 for Pittsburgh. Doing a better job over these last few minutes of keeping it out of their own zone, but not doing a great job of keeping it in the Utah zone. Just that same problem they've been facing all game, and if this season, seeing how it's been going stats-wise, likely all season, of just starting, they had the rush at the beginning of the first, but have not been able to get set up after that. Left side dot in the Utah zone. Bukestad, Malkin on the draw. Scratch that'll be Kraus, Malkin on the draws. Bukestad is kicked out. 3:39 left in the second now. Push back behind the Utah net. Sergachev will grab it, looking to clear it up right side. Utah back up the other way quickly. Kraus pushed into the left corner. Wrapping around behind the net. Letang will be there to pick it up instead. Can't quite get away with it. Kraus will grab it back. Tries to get that to the left point. Bounces out instead. Sergachev grab it in neutral ice. Forced back into his own zone. Over to Mata. Long pass up to Bukestad. He'll try and dump it around. Not quite able to. Kept in barely, though, by Lamoureux. Utah at the left side with it. Back to Cole. Big shot from the point. Bounces wide. Lamoureux looking to clear that around. Over to Stenlund on the left side. Back to Cole at the left point again. Big pass over the right side for Maselli, just barely saved by Nedeljkovic there, able to get over in time. Lamoureux with that pass over, keeps it in the zone. Maselli with it. Shot bounces right into the glove for the delayed penalty, though. Utah will be going back on the power play. You believe for a tripping call, because that's what I saw. Could be wrong, but regardless, Utah on the power play now. Which just, once again, if you're Pittsburgh, that's the last thing you need. You're down 2 and you're taking penalties. That's textbook, not what you need. If you're Utah, this is exactly what you want, though. If you can build that lead even further and really bounce that offense back and hopefully carry this into the next few games, this should be good for them. Achari Schmaltz, right side draw in the Penguin zone. 2:37 left in the period. He'll bounce back to Sergachev at the point. He'll walk to the slot, back over to Keller. Back to Cooley deep. Forced along the right side boards. Cooley with it now behind the net. Looking for Schmaltz in front. Can't get it. Some quick passing. No shots off, though. Back to Keller. Big shot. Misses the net entirely. He'll bounce all the way back out of the Penguin zone. Velk will slow that out by the right dot. 1:30 left in the Utah power play. 2:05 left in the second. Schmaltz back in his own zone. Moving up. Pass over to Keller. Barely able to get that in the zone, but not able to control it, though. Pittsburgh trying to get that pass up for a shorthanded. Not able to, though. 1:15 now left in the power play. Sergachev back in his own zone. Pass back to Schmaltz. Pass over to Keller. Back to Schmaltz. Moving in right side. Look at the pass over right at the line for Keller. Back up to Schmaltz left side. Holding. He'll bounce around the dot. Back to the left point. Over to Gunther right point. Keller with it. Tied up along the boards, though. Cooley coming in to assist. Wrapping that around to the left side for Schmaltz. 44 seconds left in the power play. Utah circling the zone. Keller looking for a little tip in front, not able to find it. Tang will get to it. He'll clear that all the way back down. Or at least tries to. He'll bounce off the benches instead. 1:09 left in the second. 32 seconds left in the Utah power play. Shot sitting 22-19 for Pittsburgh. Utah still up 3-1 and looking to make this 4-1 on this power play here. They've had some good chances moving around the zone effectively, just not able to get anything quite on net. Not able to get any quality shots on net. Getting things to the net, looking for tips in front, just not able to find it. Center ice draw, Maselli with it back in his own zone. Get it over to Kesselring. He'll leave it back for Maselli in the Utah zone. Moving up with it now. Pass over to Bukestad, barely able to get in the zone. Trying to get that left side, not quite able to. Pittsburgh fighting for it along the left side boards. Tied up in the corner. Both still fighting for it. 45 seconds left in the period now. Kesselring moving in front, looking for a tip. Nothing there. They will kill off that penalty. Carcone moving in along the right dot. Shot goes wide. Kraus will get to it first. Walking the line, he'll get that left side. 30 seconds left in the period. Looking for a tip in front. Nothing there. Maselli trying to get that shot off. Pittsburgh will tip it all the way back down. No icing, though. Kesselring will grab it. 17 seconds up to Lamoureux. Utah moving back into the zone. It's McBain with it. Over to Stenlin. Tied up along the right side boards. Trying to get something in front. Malkin will steal. Pittsburgh with it in their own zone. Looking to dump it out. 2 seconds. And that will end the second. Final shots at the end of the second. 22-19 in favor of Pittsburgh. However, Utah, the one up 3-1 going into the third. We'll see if they can hold on to this lead or if this Pittsburgh offense can finally figure something out tonight. Just struggled all night. We'll see if they can get something going. However, Utah offense, great tonight. We'll see if they don't fall apart in the third and continue something going there. Listening to Utah Pittsburgh on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. As long as the broadcast doesn't break during intermission, I'll see you back in 15. Welcome back as we get ready to start the third period. Utah up 3-1. Looking at some stats for you before we enter the third. Shots sitting 22-20 in favor of Pittsburgh. Faceoffs more in Pittsburgh's favor actually tonight, 22-16. Utah 1 for 2 on the power play tonight. Pittsburgh 1 for 3. Hit sitting 31-18 in favor of Pittsburgh. And block shots sitting 9-7 in favor of Utah. Shots sitting specifically for the second 12-9 in favor of Pittsburgh. Just much like I've been saying this whole period, Pittsburgh not able to get anything going in offensively, just not able to get anything going. Utah, on the other hand, figuring out their stride, really getting, that offense moving now. Like the struggles they had at the beginning of the season, flipping on the Penguins this time, keeping it in the Penguin zone, forcing them to play that defense, and even if they keep them to the outside for an extended period of time, playing where they tire them out to once they can clear it, it's in the zone, right back out because you have to change. You can't have any follow up on it because your guys are too tired, and once your new guys are out there, can't do anything with it. So Utah with the 2-goal lead, as long as they can keep up just the pressure they've been having and keep Pittsburgh kind of pinned in their own zone, they'll be fine. They should win this one fine. If Pittsburgh can figure out the offense and get anything going, they might have a chance to come back here. But as long as Utah stands pat, stays course, this should be theirs to win. Center ice draw. Be Malkin and Bukestad on the draw. Tied up at the dot, Utah won it back. Sergachev with a long pass up, Utah will dump it into the Pittsburgh zone. Left behind the Pittsburgh net. Trying to clear it out right side, will barely bounce out. Sergachev will grab it at neutral ice. Dump right back in by Utah. Bukestad will grab it along the right side. Krause will dump that to Maselli, the left side. Sergachev at the left point will dump that around as well. Mata coming up from the right point to grab it. Krause will grab it instead. Tries to dump it back to him, not able to. Pittsburgh will come away with it. Malkin trying to get it in right side. Pushes it in the right corner, pressured though. Bunting with it along the left side. He'll leave it for Malkin. Tied up though, can't get any passes in front. Flings it at the blue line. Pittsburgh barely able to get back into the zone. Left back for Carlson, tied up along Utah though. Shot right into the glove of Vamelka. Bunting with that shot right from about the right dot there. Just Pittsburgh trying to get some passes in. Ties up along one of the Utah players in front, but bounces right onto the stick of Bukestad. Shot going wide anyway. If nothing else, if you're Pittsburgh here, you're starting the period out strong. You're getting into the offensive zone. You're putting that pressure on early. Because if you can flip it and stay in that zone for a long period of time, that's common for Utah at this point. They've had that struggle. Face-off won by Pittsburgh. It'll bounce back behind the net. Russ looking for a wraparound, not able to find it. Carlson with a big shot from the point earlier. That bounces wide. Cole now within the Utah zone, looking for a big pass up. He'll get it. Tipped for no icing. Nedeljkovic looking for a long pass up. Goes a little too far. Utah will grab it first. Keller right outside the Utah zone. Pass over to Lamoureux. He'll get that over to Haight, and that will get dumped deep into the Utah zone, or into the Pittsburgh zone, I should say. Carlson with it in the Pittsburgh zone. Loses the puck there for a second. McBain with pressure. Could have stole it there. Wasn't able to. Hayes racing forward as it bounces into the Utah zone. Vamelka able to push that left corner. Pittsburgh trying to get a shot on net. It'll bounce back behind the net instead. Looking for something in front. Nothing there. Everything blocked. Cooley. Quick pass up to Gunther. He'll get that left side. Cooley racing for it. Pittsburgh will try and poke that out left side. They'll be successful. Moving up again with it. Over the line, trying to get a pass right side, not able to. They'll pick it back up and neutral ice, though. 17:40 left in the third. Hayes with it right at the line. Can't do much, poked away. Grzelcyk will get that back to Graves. Graves looking for a quick pass up. Get it too far for an icing instead, though. 17:29 left in the third now. Shots sitting 24-20 in favor of Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh, doing what you should do in a situation like this. They're coming out with that offensive pressure, really doing a good job now of staying in the Utah zone where they've struggled in these last few periods, actually getting in, staying in. We'll see if they can keep that up. Pittsburgh able to trying to clear that out of their own zone. They'll get it on the second attempt. Utah grabbing a neutral ice though. Moving in, they'll dump it around left side. From the right side, shot in front, bounces back out into the middle. Here come the Penguins back up the other way. They'll chip it right corner. Nieto racing for it. Tied up at the right corner. Bounce back to the point. Shot bounces in front and saved by Vejmelka. Here's Utah back up the other way, tied up along the right side boards. Carcone pressured in the right corner. Stenzel will come to help. He'll grab it, looking to clear it around to Kerfoot. Not quite able to. Utah trying to push that back behind the Pittsburgh net, not able to. Missed pass up to Nieto. It'll bounce back behind the Utah net. Vejmelka pushes that to the left side. Utah will grab it. 16:30 now left in the third. Utah just kind of circling their own zone with it. Kessling with a short little pass up. Pittsburgh trying to come away with it. Almost did. Utah will grab it instead. Krause looking to get that deep into the Pittsburgh zone. They will, but Pittsburgh will grab it first. Long pass up to Beauvillier. He'll tip that right corner. Both teams digging for it in the right corner of the Utah zone now. Both teams still fighting for it. Malkin pushes that to Carlson at the right point, right into the glove of Vejmelka. 15:57 now left in the third. Shots hitting 25-20 in favor of Pittsburgh. Really doing a good job. I mean, sound like a broken record at this point, but really, unlike the last few periods, getting in the zone, getting set up, getting those shots on net. That's exactly what you need if you're Pittsburgh. You're down 2. This is a situation where you can't be playing idle offense. And the perfect opportunity to test that out as Lamoureux goes to the box again tonight. I believe his second time tonight. Third time tonight for Lamoureux. He'll get 2 minutes for roughing. So Pittsburgh, 1 for 3 on the power play so far tonight. We'll see if they can make this 2 for 4. This is your perfect opportunity for Pittsburgh. Right side draw will be Crosby and Kerfoot. Will be pushed into the right corner, back to the left side now. Rust will get that around to Crosby at the right side. Pressured by Kerfoot though. It'll back to Carlson at the right point. Over to the left side. Back behind the net, looking for something in front, not able to get it. Raquel at the left side. Back to Carlson at the point. Over to Crosby. Quick pass over to Raquel. Bounces wide. Held up along the left side boards now. Utah able to come away with it. Racing up quickly, seeing if they can get a short-handed rush here. Not quite able to. Slow little pass over to Mata prevents that. Here's Raquel moving back in. Over to Malkin. Utah will chip that right back out right side, though. Back down to the Penguin zone. 1:05 left in the Penguins power play. 15 left in the third. Pittsburgh back in their own zone with it. Here comes Letang. Pass over to Malkin. Right back to Letang. Looking for a pass in front. Nothing there. Trying to get it to Pulvajari. Tied up along the right side, though. Utah able to come away with it. They'll dump it deep. Here comes Cooley back up the other way quickly, looking for something. Nothing there. Cooley a little shaken up after that. Looked like another delayed penalty, and it will be. Yeah, Cooley not looking great after that one. Grizzly will be taking a 2-minute minor for tripping. Cooley comes into the boards a little hot after that breakaway. So it'll be 42 seconds of 4-on-4, and then Pittsburgh will have, or not Pittsburgh, Utah will have the power play. Yeah, we'll have to see again on the replay here how bad that Cooley hitting to the boards was. But yeah, just able to get that shorthanded rush quickly. Trip down. Ooh, kind of looks like he comes at it head first. See another angle here. And not a, oh, there it is. Comes down in it. Yeah, just kind of crashes into the boards, hand and kind of a little head first there. Yeah, just kind of a slashing trip by Grizzlick there. Ooh, hopefully Cooley's all right after that one. Definitely shaken up. Skating on his own, though, on his way back to the bench. That's always a good sign. Yeah, we'll see if he's just shaken up from that hit or if he will be out the rest of the game. Regardless of the hit or not, great rush there by Cooley. Just Utah able to get that puck in their own zone, and they see Cooley up far up the ice and just send that pass down there. Wouldn't have been icing anyway, so good on them to get that pass deep to him. Cooley seems to be all right, back on the bench just fine. Might be a shift or two before he's back, but still should be all right there. With that being said, we'll have 4-on-4 for 42 seconds, and then Utah on the power play. I've been running Pittsburgh timeout the whole time. Huh. God damn it. Yeah, 4-on-4 for 42 seconds. 14:39 left in the third. Shot sitting 25-21. Left side dot in the Pittsburgh zone. They'll win it, looking to move it out. They'll just move it back in their own zone instead. Carlson with it. Can't quite get the pass across. Pittsburgh still back in their own zone with it, looking to move up now. Long pass up to Crosby, not quite able to hold it in the left corner. Kerfoot will come away with it. 15 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Kerfoot is circling the Utah zone. Moving up in, he'll leave it for Kesslinger on the left side. Trying to get that back to Kerfoot. Carlson will intercept. 2 seconds. Now Utah on the power play for 1:15. Back in the Pittsburgh zone. Kerfoot trying to dump that left side. Penguins will grab it instead. Looking to clear that. Pettersson will get that back to the right point. Or right side of the Utah. Right side Utah zone regardless. Cooley moving up now. Looking for redemption on that last one. Shot in front. Gunther with a rush in. Not able to get the shot off there. Keller. Back to Sergachev. Now Keller with it again, moving in left side, back over to Schmaltz, right side, looking for one. Bounces in front, and they'll score. Gunther looking to be the one who tipped that in. Utah will be going up 4-1 with 13:22 left in the third. They'll get that one on the power play. Yeah, just good rush there by Utah. They take advantage of that shot. Gunther almost had the one earlier. He rushes in on the sort of breakaway there. Not quite able to get it. Yeah, Keller, quick pass over to Schmaltz. Bounces pretty much right at the post there. And he'll just tip that one in. Yeah, bounces in front. Gunther just in the right spot at the right time. Gunther on the power play, his 8th of the season. Schmaltz and Keller with the assists, their 15th and 12th, respectively. So Pittsburgh in a dire spot here, down 4-1, 13:15 left in the third now. Utah, it's their game to lose at this point. Wouldn't be the first time Utah's blown a 4-1 lead, so we'll see what happens. Still plenty of time to play. Held up and neutralized. Utah trying to get back in. They will. Krause moving in quickly. Shot saved by Nedeljkovic. Almost looked like he didn't save it for a second there. Wasn't sure where it ended up, but it ended up in his pads. So we're still 4-1. 12:58 left in the third. Utah now up 4-1. We'll see if they can hold this lead just long enough. Listening to Utah Pittsburgh on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. Be back after the short commercial break. 12:58 left in the third. Utah now with a 4-1 lead after scoring that one on the power play. Utah now 2 for 3 tonight on the power play. Pittsburgh only 1 for 4. Granted, the only silver lining so far, if you're Pittsburgh, is that Crosby did get a 600th tonight. So a silver lining, if many, but in a season like this, that's not what you want. With an aging core like that, you're going to need some bounce back, if you want one final rush. Utah, on the other hand, getting this win tonight and hopefully carrying that momentum to bounce back after a string of losses. Started the season good and then kind of fell off. So if they can get that momentum back that they started the season with, that would be crucial for them. Right side draw in the Utah zone. Big shot from Lamoureux right on Nedeljkovic for the save. 12:53 left in the third. But yeah, if Utah can carry this momentum into tomorrow's game, especially, no break between it. So carry this into a Toronto team would be critical for him. Cole at the left point will try and wrap that around right side. Lamoureux will keep it in. He'll push it back to Kerfoot behind the net. Carcone back to Lamoureux. Dancing at the right point. Looks for a shot in front. It'll bounce in. Utah now up 5-1 from a shot from the point that just bounces in. Not sure if that one was tipped. Doesn't quite look like it, as Lamoureux is leading the Selly line there. We'll see on the replay here, but if so, just critical for Utah there and deadly for Pittsburgh. App says Kerfoot. We'll see if that's tipped or not here on the replay. Just tied up behind the net with it. Carcone gets that to Lamoureux back at the right point. Dances with it for a second. Waits for his opportunity. That does look tipped. Yeah, Lamoureux, beautiful shot. Looking at the replay here. Yep, tipped right up over the stick of Kerfoot. He'll put that in. Kerfoot, his third of the season. Lamoureux and Carcone with the assists. Their second for both, respectively. 12:25 now left in the third. Utah with a commanding 5-1 lead. Pittsburgh will dump that left side of the Utah zone. Utah get to it first, though. It's Mata behind the net. Tied up by Malkin, though, but it'll bounce in front of the net. Beauvillier racing for it. He'll tie it up along the right side boards. Utah looking to clear, won't be able to on the attempt. Carlson trying to keep it in. It'll barely bounce out of the Utah zone for him. Quick passes up by Beauvillier. Get that back into the Utah zone. Pittsburgh not able to hold it, though. Sergachev, the right corner, a long pass up. Go all the way down for an icing, though. 11:54 now left in the third. Shots tied at 25. Utah with the commanding 5-1 lead. At this point, if you're Pittsburgh, there's still plenty of time. Don't get me wrong. Still 12 minutes. You really needed that offense in the first. You needed to not stall out after the first 2-3 minutes. Utah, if nothing else, really, this is what they needed. This is the game they needed. This is similar, I would say, to that Calgary game. They lost a few. They came back. They had a big win. They get that offense going. We'll see if they can continue this. Pittsburgh winning the draw left side. They'll try and get a shot on net. It'll be blocked in front. Hayden will be able to dump that into the Pittsburgh zone. No icing there. Pittsburgh back in their own zone, moving up quickly with it. O'Connor not able to hold the pass. Will bounce behind the Utah net for an icing, I believe. Or no, that would have been offsides. Regardless, play blown dead. 11:36 now left in the third. Yeah, this is what you needed if you're Pittsburgh, or not if you're Pittsburgh, if you're Utah. After struggling the last few games, and especially that Boston game where you could not get anything going offensively all game, to then bounce back and have this game against Pittsburgh was crucial. Wasn't icing on that last play back in the Pittsburgh zone. They'll clear it out right side, but Utah will pick it right back up in neutral ice. Kessering will dump it around left side. Back to the right side with it now. Achari trying to move up with it. He'll get it into the Pittsburgh zone, right corner, or left corner. Tied up behind the net now. Both teams were fighting for it. Utah come away with it. Pass up to Cooley. Trying to get that right back up to Gunther. Not quite able to. That'll be an offside for Utah, though, as McBain not able to get out of the zone fast enough before he plays that puck. 11:04 now left in the third. Shots for the third specifically currently sitting 5-3 for Utah, in total still tied at 25. Right side dot outside the Pittsburgh zone. If we cut away from Cooley on the bench, there we go. Pittsburgh wins that back into their own zone. Letang with it at the left dot, looking to clear that out. Tipped up all the way back down for an icing, though. So back to the Pittsburgh zone. We will go in the zone this time for the faceoff instead of out. Guess we decided to save all the stoppages for this time of the game, as there wasn't many through that first or second. However, these last few minutes, definitely a lot of stop and start. Charlie Bukestad, right side draw in the Pittsburgh zone. Tied up at the dot. Trying to push that in front. Poulin will get to it first. Trying to get the pass up. They'll dump it into the Utah zone. They'll get to it first, though. Cole wrapping around the net now with it. Pressured by Pittsburgh, though. They'll keep it in the zone just for a second. Utah able to clear it on the second attempt. Maselli racing for it. Won't be able to get to it first. Pittsburgh back in their own zone with it. Quick pass up to Poulin. Bad pass, though. Kraus moving in. Not able to get the shot off. Almost pulls Nedeljkovic out of the way to just let that slide in. He stays at the right side, though. Sergachev back in the Utah zone with it. He'll stop behind his own net. Wait for the change. 10-10 left in the third now. Sergachev moving up. He'll get that pass up. Utah trying to get that in right side. Bounce all the way down. Nedeljkovic trying to race to it first. Good steal by Kerfoot. Carconi over to Sergachev at the right point. Trying to move in. Back shot from the line goes wide. Back to Mata at the left point. Trying to get that deep for Kerfoot. Tied up behind the net. Still tied up in the left corner. Penguins will come away with it. Graves. Graves now back with it. Looking to clear right side. He will. Quick little pass up. Raquel racing for it in the Utah zone. Tied up right corner. Bounces in front. Kerfoot there to pick it up instead, though. Kept in by Pittsburgh. Just for a second. Utah able to grab it right back and move out. Stenlin will double back in his own zone and wait for the change. Here's Kesselring with it. Moving through neutral ice. He'll pass that back to Cole. Back to Bortuzzo. Back to Hayton now. Trying to chip that up. Smaltz now with it. Moving in. He'll leave that back to the right point. For Keller. Keller, a shot goes wide. Bortuzzo there to pick it up. He'll try and push it around right corner. He won't be able to. Pittsburgh now back with it. Passing in their own zone. 8:50 now left in the third. Long pass back up into the Utah zone. Vamelko pushed that right corner. Kesselring not quite able to hold it the first attempt. He will on the second. Pass up to Keller. Back to Hayton. Tied up in neutral ice, though. It'll bounce back into the Utah zone just barely. Beauvillier looking for a rush there, but pulled away by Kesselring. Kesselring circling the Utah zone. Looking to get a pass up. He will on the next attempt. Gunther trying to break the defenseman. He'll hold left side. Push that around for Cooley. He'll push that right corner. Cooley will pick it up right side. Lamoureux not able to hold that one. Cooley walking the line. He'll push that back left corner. Trying to. Utah keep it in. Cole. Little soft shot in front. Held in at the left corner. Both teams digging at it now. Cooley, just a great effort on this shift entirely. Just all over the ice racing for it. Pittsburgh finally able to clear that out. Lamoureux will push that deep into the into the Utah zone. Cole will get to it first. Pass around for Gunther. Long pass up to McBain along the right side. Loses the puck for a sec. Tied up along the right side boards. Crosby now with it. 7.5 left in the game. Dump deep for an icing, though. It's the only problem if you're Pittsburgh there. 7:29 left in the third now. Shots sitting 26-25 now. Back to the Pittsburgh zone we go for the face-off. It'll be a left side draw, I believe. Nope, right side draw. If we cut away from the bench, I'll tell you who's taking it. Unless we cut away after. Right side draw, Pittsburgh zone. Utah win it back. Back to Sergachev at the left point. Pass up to Maselli, looking for a tip in front, nothing there. Tries to get that to Krause. Chipped up from the right point to Krause. Will get it to Bukestad in the right corner. Trying to move in front with it. Krause at the left point, or at the left dot. Now he'll move back to the left point, trying to chip that up. Crosby will steal that away. Pass over to Raquel, moving up quickly along the left side. Forced to slow right outside the left dot. Looking for a tip in front, nothing there. Pushed to the right side by Letang. Both teams digging at it now. It'll bounce back behind the Utah net. Krause able to get to it first. He'll leave it back for Mata. Quick little pass up to Maselli. Looking to clear that out, and they will. Bukestad will pick that up and move back into the Utah zone just for a second. Dump deep. Kerfoot there to pick it up in the Pittsburgh zone. Tied up behind the net. Graves looking to dig away at it. They get that back to Bunting. They'll leave it for Letang, but Stenlin there now with pressure. Pittsburgh will try and move it out. They will on the second attempt. Quick pass up. It'll bounce into the left corner. Malkin can't quite hold it behind the net. It'll bounce up. Carcone coming away with it now. 6:05 left in the third. Shots hitting 26 apiece. He'll dump it right corner of the Pittsburgh zone. Tied up in the right corner. Both falling for it. Pittsburgh will come away with it, though. Moving up out of their own zone. Malkin. They'll double back and let the Pens change on that one. Carlson now with it. Quick pass up. They'll dump it in right corner. O'Connor trying to get to it. Held up at the blue line, though. Cole with it. We'll get it up to Schmaltz. Schmaltz pressured by Polvajari. But able to get that to Keller at the right point. Bounces out right back to Polvajari. Pittsburgh trying to get back in the zone. Hayes with it, looking for a shot. Goes wide. Play blown dead, though. Likely just an offsides there. 5:18 left in the third now. Utah with a commanding 5-1 lead. We'll see if they can hold on to that for just a few minutes longer. Listening to Utah Pittsburgh on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. About 5 minutes left in the third. Utah up 5-1 against Pittsburgh. Was wrong about that last play. It was not just an offsides. It was a penalty on Pittsburgh. So Utah back on the power play. O'Connor taking a 2-minute interference. Pittsburgh able to win that. Moving up quickly. Looking for a shorthanded here. Achari. Get it behind the Utah net. Gunther not quite able to do anything there as he loses his stick, but Utah will grab it back now. 5 minutes left in the third. Utah on the power play. 1:35 left in the third. Or in the power play. Utah ring that around. Letang will get to it first, tied up in the left corner. Chari trying to get away with it, not quite able to. Utah will keep it in along the left side boards. Schmaltz. Get that over to Keller. Back to Gunther at the right dot. Shot goes wide. Sergachev with it. Back over to Gunther along the right side. He'll get that back behind the net. Back to Gunther. Quick little pass over to Cooley. Back to Sergachev at the point. Back to Cooley at the right side. Sergachev. Moving up to the left dot. Moving in. Tries to get a pass in front to Schmaltz. Nothing there. Keller will grab it. Back to Cooley. Pass over to Gunther. Back to Sergachev. Keller at the right dot. Looking. Shot in front. Bounces wide. Gunther with a quick little snap, and that will go in. Looks like that shot goes right through the crease by Cooley there. Gunther holds it for a sec, not knowing what happens, but nobody reacts. So Utah able to go up 6-1. Let's see, Gunther, his second of the night, I believe. Yes, second of the night. Gunther, his ninth on the power play again. Cooley and Keller with the assists, 11th and 13th respectively. Yeah, let's see here. Keller, Cooley, yeah, just gets that shot pretty much right through the crease. And then that'll bounce all the way over to Gunther on the left side. Nobody rushes over to stop that one. Gunther able to take his time, gets that shot right from an angle, puts that one in. 3:55 left in the third. Utah up 6-1. Back in the Penguin zone. Carlson tied it behind his own net with it. Forced in the left corner. Krause there with pressure. Maselli moving to the left side, trying to get something in front. Nothing there. Pittsburgh trying to clear left side. They will. They'll bounce back in the neutral zone, but Bukestad there to grab it. Up to Kesselring. Kesselring, he'll leave that back to Maselli. Maselli trying to move into the middle. Shot. Bounces in front, saved by Nedeljkovic. Barely not kept in the zone, but Utah will keep possession of it. Tied up. Beauvillier able to steal that away. Not quite able to get the shot off. They won't on the second attempt. Barely tied up there as Malkin gets that pass right over to him. Maselli, quick little pass over to Krause, back in the Utah zone. 3 minutes left in the game now. Cole with it. He'll chip that up right into the Penguin zone. Will be an offsides, I believe. Yeah, looks like it. 2:54 left in the third. Utah now up 6-1 against Pittsburgh. See how quickly this last 3 minutes goes. We head back to commercial. Listening to Utah Pittsburgh on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. .254 left in the third now. Utah commanding 6-1 lead. See how quickly we can get these last 3 minutes over, because frankly, I can't see Pittsburgh coming back from this. especially the way they played all game, not being able to get the offense. Scoring 5 in 3 minutes is just not on the table. Would be incredible if they did, don't get me wrong, but even as a mainly Pens fan, I just cannot see this happening. Right side dot outside the Utah zone. Pittsburgh will win it. Trying to dump it left side, it'll bounce up into the netting instead, as that building has cleared out substantially. 2:47 left in the third now. Shots sitting 28-26 for Utah. Shots in the third specifically, 8-5 Utah. Center ice draw. Utah win that back. They'll barely dump it into the Penguin zone. Penguins will grab it. Quick pass up in their own zone. Hayes trying to get back into the Utah zone. Kept in, though. Shot on net. Saved by Vejmelka. 2.5 left in the third now. And yeah, when they pan out to the sides there, you can definitely see that Pittsburgh building has cleared out a ton. Let's see here. Left side draw in the Utah zone. Crosby, Stenlund on the draw. Crosby wins that back to the left point. Letang moving up with it. Takes a shot, bounces wide. Stenlund looking to clear that out left side. They will. Pittsburgh back in their own zone. Pass up to Crosby. Crosby trying to get that over to Letang. Utah back up the other way. Gunther looking for the hat trick tonight. Shot that bounces right in front. Russ now moving up with it. 2 minutes left in the third now. He'll get that to Crosby. Tries to get the pass in front, not able to. Kept in by Graves. Deflects in front. Lamoureux moving away with it now. Over to McBain. Trying to keep that in, not quite able to. Rust up the other way quickly. 1-on-2, though. Can't do much there. Cleared out. Tries to clear it out by Utah. Raquel keep that in. Shot bounces wide. Into the right corner. Gunther will grab it, looking to clear. Barely kept in by Poulin. Bounce out to the left side. Sergachev will grab it instead, though. Here's Hayton moving back up the other way. He'll push that into the right corner of the Pittsburgh zone. Graves will come away with it, though. 1:15 left in the third now. Try and dump that in right side. Sergachev will grab it instead. He'll keep that out of the Utah zone. Krause will pass over to Mata. Back to Sergachev as they move up, out. Back into the Pittsburgh zone. Schmaltz in front. He'll pass that back to the right point. Not able to get anything there. Bad pass by Pittsburgh. Utah able to dump that right back into their zone. Graves with it. 50 seconds now. Dumped all the way back down to the Utah zone for an icing. 48.3 left in the third. Shots now tied at 28. Looking at third specifically, 9-6 in favor of Utah. This game pretty much put away for Utah. By pretty much, I mean it would take an actual miracle for Pittsburgh to come back. Right side dot in the Pittsburgh zone. Utah win it. They'll push that in the right corner. Digging for it. They'll push it to the left side now. Pittsburgh trying to come away with it. Bolvajari trying to lead the rush. Not able to. Maselli trying to get a pass in front. Bukestad with it. Moving up. Trying to get a tip in front. Nothing there. It'll bounce up. Nedeljkovic with the save. 28.4 now left. Nice save by Nedeljkovic on that last play there. Utah trying to get a tip up. Bounces right up in the air. Nedeljkovic able to grab that out of mid-air. Yeah, just Utah, all Utah these last few minutes here. Most of the game, honestly. 20 seconds left. Pittsburgh back in their own zone. Trying to clear it out. 15 seconds. They'll just hold it back in their own zone. Carlson with it. 10 seconds. That should be the game. 7, as everybody has decided that is the game. And man, has that Penguins building cleared out when they pan. Oh, Lord, that lower bowl is empty. And with that, that will be the game. Utah taking this a 6-1 commanding lead. Final shots, 29-28 in favor of Utah. Specifically tonight, thing to note, Utah 3 for 4 on the power play. So whether that be because of the Pittsburgh penalty kill being so poor, or that Utah power play getting something figured out. Which kind of sad to see, is mainly a Pens fan first. I hadn't watched them a lot this season, and man, they don't look good. They came out swinging in that first 2, 3, 5 minutes, and then just fell apart after that. Regardless, meet me back here tomorrow for the only game on tomorrow, so if you have nothing better to do. Pittsburgh continues their road trips. They end up in Toronto. Hopefully that game should be good, and if I remember my dates right, that should be Toronto's Hockey Fights Cancer Night, so that should be fun. I've been Taryn Holmes. This has been Utah 801, Utah Hockey Radio. I'll see you back here tomorrow, and have yourself a good rest of the night.